Sports, 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 sports.
Hello, welcome to the Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, event, athlete, or sports-related news. This week, the NBA Finals are upon us, and we have a bit of a surprise when it comes to the NBA Finals. Not in the Western Conference, though, because in the Western Conference, you have the juggernaut that has been the Oklahoma City Thunder, 68-14 in the regular season, 80 wins so far in this playoffs, included number one seed throughout the whole year. They've been one of the best teams throughout the course of this playoffs and throughout the course of this season. And then you have the surprise in the East, the Indiana Pacers, 50-32, but among one of the best teams in the 2025 calendar year so far, besting the New York Knicks in 6 games. Granted, I thought that this was going to be the NBA Finals, even though I think, or I thought at least, it would have been hilarious if the New York Knicks were to play the Minnesota Timberwolves in the ultimate battle of who won the trade, because every NBA trade needs to have a winner and needs to have a loser. But that is not what we get. So, taking a look at this matchup, there's some things that kind of stand out. And the first thing is you've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is the newly anointed league MVP. And you've got Tyrese Halliburton, potentially snubbed Eastern Conference Finals MVP or whatever the fuck the award is called. So between him getting potentially glossed over for a very deserving Pascal Siakam, because he definitely deserved it, but I think it would have made more sense if Halliburton had won it, but that doesn't discount that Pascal Siakam definitely deserved it. So I think this matchup is going to be fascinating because you've got young, deep guards that don't have like a tremendous amount of size per se, because you've got Hartenstein and you've got Chet Holmgren on the Thunder, and you have Miles Turner, and that's really about Thomas Bryant, I guess, for the Pacers. But you have a lot of depth on both sides of the ball. So you look at the starting five in terms of the depth charts for each team. So taking a look for the Pacers, you've got Halliburton, Nemard, Neesmith, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner, which is a very good starting five. Nebhard or Neesmith, I'm not sure which one is having some of the ankle issues. I think one of them is. Both streaky shooters, so we'll see how that plays out. Whereas you counteract that with the Thunder, where are you? There it is. Northeast Division or Northwest Division, which is bullshit, but whatever. Okay, so you got Shea, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. So you've got a solid group right there for the starting five. You've got you've got the league MVP, you've got first-time All-Star Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, who seem to be kind of finally gelling together and making it definitely a thing. So then on the other side, you've got your bench units, which TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, like Thomas Bryant, I guess, Tony Bradley, who wasn't that much of a factor in this series, but hey, it is what it is. Versus you got Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. Yeah, so a solid group for both. So depth is definitely a thing. Play with a lot of pace, definitely a thing. So, in regards to both teams, you've got the Pacers, who have one of the top offenses in the entire NBA, and then the Thunder, who have a historically great defense. So that's going to come into play as well. I think the big X factors with both of these games is that depending on who's like your number one guy. So if let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Tyrese Halliburton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are your top guys for each team respectively. So you look at your next person up, which in this case is Jalen Williams for the Thunder and Pascal Siakam for the Pacers. Jalen Williams has been a very streaky shooter throughout the playoffs. Borderline, he hasn't been very good. So, but this series that they just had against the Timberwolves, Jalen Williams was amazing. So he was doing great. Pascal Siakam was doing really great stuff. So it's going to be a toss up between those. And then from there, you need a third guy. And that's where Chet Holmgren needs to step up. He really needs to do his thing there. And then for Indiana, I don't know who's going to be that third guy. That's the problem I'm having with this. So that's problem number one that I'm having with that. Defense versus offense. A lot of times defense wins. Just ask the Dallas Mavericks. But defense has definitely carried them throughout the course of the whole playoffs. The only time that the Thunder have been truly tested was against the Nuggets, and that's against like an all-time great like Jokic. So the Pacers, I mean, they limped through, or they got through Giannis pretty easily. They dispatched a very injured Cleveland Cavaliers team, and then if it wasn't for the heroics of Game One, this series could have gone seven, and then it would have been a toss-up against the Knicks. So I'm not feeling very confident about that. Now, Indiana, the big X factor for them is that they got Rick Carlisle on the other side, and I think that is a huge advantage because Rick Carlisle has been there multiple times. Mark Dagnall for the Thunder has not, and he's already had some questionable moves during this entire playoff run. So I'll be curious to see how that plays out, but I think Indiana does have the advantage when it comes to coaching. And Indiana does seem like it has all the momentum, but I'm going Thunder in five. I just think that it's going to be just just a showcase of everything that Oklahoma City has built. The city of Oklahoma City definitely deserves it, so definitely looking forward to seeing that. But hopefully I'm right. I have not been doing very well in these NBA playoffs when it comes to predictions, so hopefully this one will pan out in my favor. But what did you think? Let me know below. And that's going to do it for this episode of Sportsball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website at SPDM. Shout out to High Flyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. Check out the other shows on our network. We're really proud of the work that we do on SPDM Crew, so check out the other shows on our network. And if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.